How to make a girl miss you. This is the kind of content that I think too many people have already made on YouTube. However, I often notice that they follow a main motif. They talk about the things a woman remembers about a man when she has already fallen in love with him. That's why I will not follow that motif. Because you also know that what I teach men here is not about love. What I teach men is how to conquer a woman. So, in today's video, I will show you the ways to force or compel a woman to remember you. 1. Scent. This is the difference between men and women. As men, we remember the tangible things first. After that, we remember the intangible things. For example, you will remember how big her chest was, how big her hips were, how long her legs were, and how fair her skin was. Then we remember her voice or her scent. But for women, it's the opposite. They will remember the intangible things first. Then, they will remember the tangible things. For example, women will remember your voice. They will remember your scent. They will remember your touch. Those are the intangible things. And women often remember those things more. The first thing you need to know is that women will remember your scent. Scent is extremely important to women. For women, if they say you have a smell, it means you stink. And women will never love you. But if a woman says you smell clean or that you have no scent, it means you are nothing special. Only when a woman says to you, "Oh, you smell so nice," and "Oh, what perfume is this?" Only when a woman says such things, that's when she finds you fragrant and remembers your scent. So the first thing you must remember is your scent. Remember, there are usually only two scents that leave an impression on women. First, it's your perfume. Second, it's your hair scent. For example, your hair wax scent or your pomade scent. But scents like deodorant or body spray don't work at all. And those scents never stay in a woman's memory. 2. Your voice. The second thing that women will remember about you is your voice. Each of us has a different voice. Some people naturally have deeper tones than others, and some people have lighter tones. You should know that this is something natural you are born with. Even if your voice is high-pitched, no matter how much you train, it can only go down 1-2 tones. It can never become extremely deep. For example, my own voice is relatively deep, and I must admit this is my natural voice. I'm not bragging that I trained or did something to get this deep voice. I just naturally have it this deep. It's just my natural voice. So don't try to force your voice to be as deep as possible, because you might spend your whole life on that and still not reach your goal. Instead of that, focus on the way you speak. How to speak so it becomes crisp, decisive like a man. The more I interact with men, the more I notice that those who struggle to attract tend to have unclear, incoherent ways of speaking. For example, when inviting the target out, "Can you go out with me?" It sounds very different from saying, "Do you want to go out with me?" Right now. When it comes to voice, there's a mistake I see many men make. That is, when talking to a girl, you speak too loudly. Men often think that when talking to a girl, they need to speak louder to show confidence, no issues with communication, and to display masculine character. But in reality, when you speak too loudly, women feel embarrassed and uncomfortable with people around. Because people around may see the conversation and misunderstand that you are yelling at the woman. So remember, when talking to women, speak at a moderate, pleasant volume, not too loud and not too soft. 3. Generosity. Another thing that girls will always remember about you is you are generous. You are stingy. Those are two things a woman will definitely remember about you. If you are stingy and miserly, women will also remember you for being stingy and miserly. But if you are generous, women will also remember you as generous. At first, I thought this was something all men understood. But after meeting many men, I realized many are generous. On the other hand, some men are not very generous. They tend to be calculating and cautious in spending money when with women. So whether a man is generous depends on his character. I see many wealthy men who are still calculating. Yet I also see poor men, with very little, who are not calculating at all. That is simply each person's character. And if you are in the calculating group, you need to reconsider. Because calculating men are very hard for women to like. And that's what they will remember about you. The way I teach students about generosity is, even if you're not wealthy, you must budget a set amount to spend when going out with a girl you invite. And once you've budgeted that amount, you must act as generous as possible with it. For example, decide to spend $1,000 for 3 dates with the girl you're pursuing. On each of those dates, act as generous as possible, as if you had more money than you actually do. But I see many men saving for 1 or 2 months to take the girl they like to a fancy place. Meaning during those months, they go nowhere at all, just to invite her one day to a luxury place. But do you know what the girl being invited thinks? She'll immediately think you got a discount, a coupon, or a free gift, and that's why you invited her. And she'll always think you're cheap. Very different from a man with only a few thousand. But he is always generous with the money he spends. Then girls will always say they love the man who has 10 and gives all 10. Not the man who has 1,000 but only gives 10. 4. Manly behavior. In all the videos on my channel, before diving into how to decode real-life attraction, you must first go through 5 exercises to help change your behavior. And here, I'm talking about manly behavior. I will point out one of these 5 behaviors for you. A behavior you need to change right now to make you more manly, more attractive, and more memorable to her. That is, you need to change from being the one waiting for permission to being the one giving permission. What does that mean? The issue here usually starts because men want to be polite. So they ask women things like, "Do you like this cafe? Do you want this drink? Do you like this seat? Do you like these dishes?" This starts because we're polite, so we ask women these questions, waiting for their approval. If she says, "Okay," you'll feel very happy, right? Or many men simply like doing that, making the other person happy. When she feels pleased, you feel pleased too. However, in the process of winning her over, if you only wait for permission and only act when she agrees, then you'll look very unmanly, and she'll have nothing to remember about you, because you're just like everyone else. Instead, you need to do the opposite. That means you must become the one who gives permission. For example, like this. For instance, imagine you and her go on a date. Then the two of you go into a cafe and don't know what to order. What do you want to drink? Then you keep pushing the responsibility of ordering drinks to her. And then, what's the worst part? The worst part is when she orders coffee. Then you also say, "Yeah, just give me coffee too." But what about a real man? You will walk into that cafe looking like the boss. If you don't know what to drink, it's simple. Call the staff over. "Excuse me, what's the best dish here?" "Excuse me, what's the best drink here?" "Okay, this one is the best, right? Give me 2 cups." Do you see the difference between a man who waits for permission and a man who gives permission? That is a complete difference. And it's not just about 1 or 2 actions. You need to change your whole behavior. When you develop the behavior of such a man, naturally, the women around you will remember you. "Oh, finally today I've met a real man. Oh, finally today I've met a true man." Why is that? Because that is a man. Those are the experiences that girl will never have from other men. That is today's content. Remember this. If she already loves you, then why would you still care if she remembers you? Right? This is the method I'm showing you. To make her remember you. You force her to remember you. Okay? But if you want more real-life practice, you want more training, You want real-world results. Because I'm the one guiding and coaching you. Then, like and subscribe, and watch the next video on my channel. Goodbye. See you again in the next videos.